Hello everyone. I don't actually know if this is streaming at the moment. So oh yeah, it is. Okay. Just got confirmation from the Thunderdome thanking me for the what he calls fag music. It's a fair comment. So today I'm bringing you the Angus versus Pawel Division 1 game. I can't actually remember what week maps it is for this, so I'm just going to check it out now. Group D, I think. So it looks like it's week 4 maps, and in week 4 I should know it perfectly well, having failed my match miserably in week 4. I believe it is Area 51, followed by Area 51, Decayed Collapse and Flagrant. 4th and 5th maps, Mystery Fortress and Rook CB. So some good maps to look forward to here, and should be quite a close game. Pawel is obviously very much established BT player over the years, and Angus has been proving to be very good force in his group, unexpectedly so. It was debatable about whether or not to put him in Division 1 or Division 2 for me, but I decided to put him in Div 1 in the end, and seems to be a good decision, so hopefully this should be a good game. Just move you over to Unreal. I'm sure you've had enough of looking at my penguin for now. So I'm probably stealing the slot actually. Let's go into spec. I think after Thunderdome called my music fag, that I will not be inviting him for co-commentary because he hasn't been very nice to me, and he also wasn't very nice to my mate Gaz, so I think I'm gonna have to punish him this time. So I'm just going to let Pawel know that we're actually waiting on him. He's currently PMing me. So I'll just let him know, so he should be here shortly. So yeah, first map will be Area 51. I'm just going to revote for this map to make sure. Although saying that, I probably won't be able to see it on the vote menu because of my resolution. Area 51 will naturally be quite high at the top. No, it's good. There we go. Have to pass Pawel the IP. Brilliant. There we go. Okay. I might let Thunderdome join me for the co-commentary, but I'm not sure if I've forgiven him yet. He's gonna have to send me an apology on IRC, and then I might let him come and talk. But it looks like we have Pawel in the server now. Okay. So I think we're ready to get this started. If anyone wants to PM me any predictions that they have for this game, I will read them out. I reckon this could be quite close, maybe 4 or 5 maps, and I'm going to say Angus will win it because Pawel hasn't had the best of luck in the cup so far. But wow, saying that, Angus has just made that that first dodge, that really difficult dodge, first go, but then he's fallen in this line. That's not what you want to do if you make that first go, and Pawel has done the same thing. So Angus has now finally managed to make it to the button and suicide to let his opponent know that he's beating him. I always think it's really silly to suicide at the beginning because just lets your opponent know exactly where you are. Big mistake in my opinion, but never mind. Angus slightly ahead then. Pawel only about 5-ish or so seconds behind. And there's lift jump, which can give you a lot of trouble if you don't know the exact right technique to do there. Angus makes that second attempt, Pawel up first go, so he's caught up just a little bit. The room that Angus is at now is my most feared room, probably, of any BT map, certainly in this cup. The dodge coming up now, it's just something that I'm never ever able to do. and Angus has at least makes me feel like I'm not the only one, as he fails it on his first attempt, and Pawel first go. I don't believe at all that that is a luck dodge, or I don't believe that it's anything but my fault, but for some reason I can't seem to dodge from the edge there when I do it. Take a look at Angus. He's made it on his second attempt now, so Pawel is now overtaken by a small amount, but not too much so far. He's tactically timing this crusher and well, these side movers, and looks like he's timed that perfectly. Meanwhile, Angus, I didn't quite see whether or not he timed that or rushed it, but he yeah, he just got crushed underneath it, like, which is quite a strange one. Usually if you die there you get crushed into the sidewall. If you get crushed underneath it, that means that you've positioned yourself horizontally on the lift really weirdly. Usually the deaths that you see there are due to just bad timing, where you generally can't save yourself then, which is very unlikely to happen, but he just got crushed right underneath it, so that was pretty poor positioning from Angus, let alone timing, I guess. But Pawel looking good, makes it past the lasers, something which I was also unable to do in my game on my first run, but Pawel looking very strong there, and Angus only approaching the kind of third room of this map. Pawel tactically feigning death. I actually thought he died there for a second. Oh god, that was yeah, he almost fell off that bit of floor there. That was really close, but he managed not to fall in the lava, and he will make the first cap quite comfortably actually. He started off just a little bit behind Angus, but he's really been stable, and that's a good run. Oh, okay. I think in this version you don't need to hit that one button. Oh, Angus has died in the meantime. I didn't even see that. But yeah, that button, I'm pretty sure you don't need to hit that number 1 button in this version at least. Although it's always good just for safety measures, I guess, to make yourself feel a bit better, just to hit it. But, so Pawel actually a cap in front, and also slightly ahead on the second run. Although it's struggling with the lift jump now a little bit, second go. Angus again struggling here. I'm trying to figure out where Angus must have died, because when I left Angus, Pawel was holding down that big button when Angus was just before that lift, so he must have died here, I guess. Either here or at the slow moving lift, which Pawel is about to get to. See how Pawel takes slow lift. There's a lot of different routes that people take here, and Pawel just pretty much crouching left and going forward a little bit. Seems like a good way to do it. And so maybe Angus has failed this swim once already, because I would have thought he would have made it out of here by now. Failed the dodge perhaps again on this run, so he's got the Nin curse. It's never a good thing to have. Meanwhile, Pawel is just yeah, he's storming through this map really. I never knew that technique, which is obviously a faster way to get up. Yeah, he looks very confident here. I mean, I never knew this technique either, where you jump on that window and dodge over. Something saves a bit of time as well. And he hits that shot first go this time, so it... Oh, okay. I was going to say, it looks like he might be on kind of track here to maybe make a record time. I don't know what the fastest time is on here so far, but it's looked like a very strong run for Pawel so far, and he won't obviously have to hold any buttons this time. Here, for example. So, oh, goes for the thumb flip this time. and makes it, no problem. So that will be a 2-0 victory for Pawel. Meanwhile, Angus has now made it the furthest he has made it in this map so far. And he's still got the laser room to go, which can be the downfall for a lot of people. I don't know whether or not I'd call it the hardest room. I think maybe I'd say it's the most nerve-wracking room, but I'm not sure. Yeah, no problem there. Good timing at the laser here. And yeah, so it looks like Angus will be making his first cap of the game, provided that he doesn't lose his nerve in the lava jump swim. Let's see how Angus gets on. Missed that, but he's made it. Very good. So he'll at least keep a bit of pressure on Pawel by making a cap, proving to him that he is able to do the map comfortably. And it looks like Pawel has had absolutely no issues in this room so far. Yeah, he's got that down to a T, so that's pretty good to see. That room as well can really be influential on this map if you take ages there. But I think Pawel's made that first go each time. So Angus really obviously has to hope for a couple of late deaths from Pawel on this map. Like not just one, but definitely like a couple. But I honestly don't see that happening. Pawel's looking, yeah, very good. Times this part perfectly. And Angus is approaching yet again the room where he's really struggled so far. I think he's done the map pretty almost well without any trouble, except for this room and obviously the lift with the side movers. Apart from those two areas, he's been almost as good as Pawel really. But so 2 more difficult rooms to go now for Pawel. This is the first one, and he shows to be at. Oh, that was awfully close. He's crouching away. Yep. So he's passed the first hard bit. And is coming up to this room coming up. The lava jump swim obviously isn't like difficult, but it's at the very end of the map, and they are small jumps, so it can put you off. And he's taking it slowly, doing Kimmo crouch jumps, but he's made it, no problem. So this should be a 3-1 victory to Pawel. And Angus gets in the good game. Pawel doesn't wait for. Oh, okay, he does hit a button anyway. Fair enough. And so that's first map to Pawel. Don't know if you saw, by the way, but Angus did have another death just as Pawel capped. So I'm going to assume that was at the lasers, but he probably, obviously, didn't care anyway. So Decayed. This is one of those maps which is quite a strange one really, because like, the first 2/3 of it are, are generally quite challenging and offer different places to die. But the last third of this map is entirely about speed, because you just can't really die after you get out the last slime room. Interesting technique in the first room there from Angus. I didn't know you could jump on that metal girder. But both players pretty much neck and neck actually. Let's see, Angus dodging, Pawel dodging. Yeah, it's about half a second there. between them. Angus looking really fast actually, and he's definitely increased his lead a small amount, so if he keeps this up... Oh, no, luckily he's got the the barrel to save him there. I believe that was a map addition by Safester, so Angus can thank him for that. And it looks like Pawel has overtaken now a small amount. The barrel fail by Angus has let him overtake, but both struggling at that weird dodge there, so neck and neck once again. Oh, wow, okay, Pawel decides to dodge above the vent and push into it, which I find can often not work because you kind of bug past the vent if you hit the top of it first. But he has made it, and he's only very, very slightly ahead of Angus. And this is the last room where you can really die on this map. So from now on it's all about speed from both these players. And I think this is going to be really close. I mean, yeah, they're both very, very equal. They've both been failing pretty much at the same spots. But Angus... it's a fairly slow way of doing that room. But he has caught up again, because Pawel has had some difficulty in this flag room, so at the same time I reckon, yeah. Literally less than half a second in between them. Really good so far from both. So yeah, really good technique from Angus in that first room. I think that's actually faster. It's probably like nothing new to anyone, and I'm just like really unknowledgeable about it, but it's pretty good. And it looks like Angus has failed at the part that I was just specking Pawel on, because I'm pretty sure they were neck and neck, and that dodge and jump around can really be tricky. Pawel goes for the dodge straight over the slime there, which I think is a bit risky, but I also find you want to be very careful at the buttons in that room that Pawel just passed, because null buttons infamously trigger from the area that surrounds them, as opposed to the button itself being physically hit. So I find, if you're like, it's hard to explain. I think if you trigger a null button and then stay within the vicinity that you triggered it, and then hit the button without leaving that vicinity, then it won't activate. From my experience on this map anyway, so I'm always like really, really careful on null buttons, even if I haven't hit the button before. I always make sure that I'm very far away from the area around it before I hit it. But anyway, enough of that. Pawel has made a decent lead now, showing really little mistakes so far. He's got about 20 seconds on Angus now. That death at the beginning could really have cost Angus his second map. Pawel having a bit more trouble than his first attempt in this room, but makes it. Yep. Failing that dodge to the left can actually cost you quite a lot of time. But no problem for Pawel. 2-1 there. And Angus only just approaching the flag, so we are looking at about 30 seconds difference even. Good 2:37 there from Pawel. Really not bad at all. And Angus will beat it with 2:35. So the faster runner so far, but obviously that death is costing him at the moment. So he's really got to hope for Pawel to mess something up somewhere. back to my very superstitious buttons here. And yeah, no problem there for Pawel. Decides to shoot the button that time instead of skipping it. Pawel already passed the hardest parts of this map, in my opinion, which isn't good for Angus at all. Angus, no problem there. Yeah, Pawel just looking very, very confident so far. I think he's lost all of his previous games so far. Oh my goodness gracious! He has missed the pretty much almost the last place in this map that you can die. He has missed the downward shot, and that is really, really going to cost him. Wow. Oh. And I was just kind of saying before that you know, Pawel has so far actually played really good, but I think he's lost all of his games so far, if I'm not mistaken anyway. And it will be due to just really, really small things like that. I think he lost in deciders for both his games. I should really do my research properly, but looks like he's going to lose this map though. After it really didn't look very likely at all, but Angus has been given a gift here, and he's showing signs of of nerves in this flag room, but he will do just fine because Pawel is sitting there and he's going to let him cap. And big mistake, because I mean okay, well I guess it doesn't matter in this case, but I mean someone fails in this room 2 or 3 times and you can easily make up that time. But solid performance from both players. I think each player died once. However, Pawel's was a lot later than Angus's. Angus died in the let's see, the kind of 3rd room, just where the door is, with a difficult jump around and dodge, whereas Pawel died at basically the last place you can die, or the last kind of difficult obstacle anyway. So really unfortunate for him, but we move on to Flagrant, potentially the most difficult map of the cup so far. I was very embarrassingly unable to cap this in my war. Pawel already taking an early death. And Angus looking very good so far. I'm not a big fan, to be honest. Let's see how Pawel does here, because okay, he's made it now. I'm guessing that's where he died. And has passed 2 attempts, but and Angus has been lasered at the kind of annoying dodge onto the small slope, which I find, unless you do it really, really well, it kind of kills your momentum and gets you lasered. But Pawel in the lead now, and I think this could be a very seesaw map, because it is just such a difficult map, and there are a lot of places and difficult obstacles where you can die, so the lead could potentially change quite often depending on how these players are. Unless you're playing against Night Terror, who, oh dear, Pawel has, I think he was a bit too slow after he shot that button and just got clipped by the lasers there. So Angus again in the lead now, Pawel having more deaths at the beginning, and Angus has now made it past the place where he died last. Interesting slope dodge there through the 2, I don't want to say platforms, but the 2 things, I guess, is going to be my technical description. And okay, oh, Angus kind of clipped the wall there when he dodged the ladder, but he has made it. If you fall in that room outside there, you will have to suicide, so good thing you didn't fall. Pawel's now made it past the first room, which is always a good sign. And Angus, oh no, Angus has failed the fast water room, and he will now have to try and swim back along the wall here, which is always a nightmare. I always try and take that room super carefully because I absolutely hate having to do this. But it looks like Angus has made it out now. There is a trick to doing that room. I personally don't use that trick because I find it a bit silly, so I'm not going to actually say what the trick is to get out of that water current room if you do fail the walk momentum rise. I don't know if that was the right way to describe it, but there is a trick to getting out of there, but I don't know, I kind of consider it to be really silly, so I don't talk about that one. And Angus passed the difficult lift jump swim there. This was the furthest point in the map that I got to when I played, because Night Terror capped a third when I was here. And Angus no problem here, so he's looking very good for the first capture ahead of Pawel. Pawel has seemingly missed the dodge shot for the door, so now it's just the really annoying flag dodge now for Angus, and he's failed it. Oh no, that is not good at all. I despise that dodge with a passion. It is horrible. It's really not that difficult to do, but I guess it's a similar dodge to that in Area 51, in that room that I was... Oh dear, Pawel has hit his head. In the difficult lift jump room. Probably the hardest room in the map, I would go as far to say. So pretty much level terms again for these players. But yeah, that flag dodge at the end, very similar to that room in Area 51 before the slow lift, where you have to dodge on that small slope. I would say almost kind of identical in the technique and the fact that you just have to go from quite close to the edge when you dodge and make sure you stay in a straight line. So that's really unfortunate for Angus. I've died there many a time, so although I haven't done that in a game, in like a war game, I'd like to say that I know how it feels. It's not good. I have had plenty of silly deaths in my war games, so this cup alone, so I think I do know how it feels. Looks like Pawel's having a lot of trouble in this the first two rooms. That's quite an annoying jump, but generally okay. The dodge here, actually, I don't really get this slope dodge because I find that I don't know if there's like a good technique that you should be doing at that slope, but I find it just kind of randomly. Sometimes I go really high and hit my head on the roof, so that you basically can't shoot in time to save yourself with the lift. Or I find the dodge just becomes really shit and you don't go anywhere near high enough, and therefore you still fall in the slime before you can be saved. So I really don't like that dodge at the beginning on the small slope. I hope someone can maybe teach me how to do it properly sometime. Unless there is a small element of luck to it, I don't know. So Angus definitely seems to be by far the strongest player so far on this map. And he will have a second attempt now with the flag. Pawel, meanwhile, only at the laser aim hit. He was a bit close there, but he makes it now. So Angus again back at the flag dodge. Let's see how he does. How he does even. and he's now made it. His technique seems to be just to kind of go for it. He doesn't like crouch and line it up. I think he just wants to get it over with, really, which is probably the best way to go about it. So Pawel shortly approaching the room where he last got furthest in this map, which was at the difficult lift jump swim. So provided that he makes his shot without jumping in the slime like I did, yeah, we'll see how he does here. No problem there. Now for the dodge, and he's failed that dodge again. It is a tough dodge. Like, there's like a kind of maybe a half-second gap when you should be dodging from that lift, I guess, and obviously before you won't go high enough, and too late you'll bump your head and fall faster into the slime. So Pawel really doesn't seem to have that time properly. I actually time that part with shots myself. I start shooting when I land on the lift, and just before I have time to shoot for the third time, I usually find that is a good time to dodge away. So Angus did have a death about 15-20 seconds ago, so Pawel is in the lead on this run. Oh. But Angus really not that far behind. Maybe he's even caught up a little bit here. Oh, this is a nice camera view. Let's free camera this. I have way too much free time on my hands. Okay, so Angus. This is the part where he failed on his first run. Oh my god, I'm being moved by the current here. Okay, makes it out no problem. Into the box swim. And Pawel again in this difficult lift jump swim. Doesn't wait for that this time. The dodge, no problem this time. Got it. Very, very good. So it looks like Pawel might be making his first cap of the game, which really will put the pressure on Angus, because Angus is probably thinking so far, you know, oh, I might have this, because Pawel doesn't seem to be able to cap it, but, you know, it looks like Pawel has a very good understanding of the map. It's just that one room which is getting him. So he will go to make his first. Meanwhile, Angus makes a dodge there. The flag dodge for Pawel, no problem. 1-all. And very, very similar times between these two players. Angus faster by 5 seconds. Hardcore maths view there. So, yeah, looking like, unless Angus makes another mistake with the flag, that he will apply the pressure back to Pawel. Here we go. This should potentially be his last run of the game, but no, it is only his second, so he'll have to do it all over again, slower than the time that he first made. So, Pawel has died in the swim before, but no problem. Angus really not that far behind. Oh, okay. I don't know what's going on at the moment, but he will have to wait for that button to reset. There we go. No problem. Pawel in the current room. And the reason really that Angus is leading so far is because he's had, you know, although extraordinarily late, he's only had one late death so far in the map, whereas Pawel has had 2 late deaths and also a string of many early deaths. So that is the reason they have about a whole map's difference between them. Pawel had a difficult dodge again, makes it, seems to have that timed better now. Oh dear, Angus has failed in this. Oh, really good technique there. That was a really good recovery from him, in my opinion. I've usually got to swim back a lot more than that to kind of time and position myself for that. So he did really well there to recover. And Pawel will make his second cap, provided he doesn't do an Angus. And he makes it 2-all. The pressure is really on Angus now. And he's failed that lift jump. And that, oh no, he's got to be gutted at the moment. That is the second late death to put himself at basically on equal terms with Pawel now. That was really a cruel place for Pawel to equalise actually, because, you know, Pawel equalised just as Angus was approaching the hardest part of the map, so that, you know, that really would have put the pressure on him, and that's probably why he's gone and failed that jump around lift jump. It's really unfortunate for Angus. So Pawel with what looks like a very decent lead now, or not at all even. Angus is close behind, maybe 7 or 8 seconds, but I don't know what he's doing in this swim, but that's the second time he's had trouble there. So Pawel just has to keep his lead, and maybe hope for Angus to have trouble in this water room again, and Pawel will win this. I don't know how much time's left even, we've got 5.5 minutes left. So that is enough for almost 2 runs. Because we're looking at about 3 minutes for their runs, so yeah, it will be enough for this and one more in case either of them die. And oh, wow, Pawel has failed here. So he's got this means Angus is now overtaken, but Angus will of course have absolutely no idea that Pawel is struggling here. For all Angus knows, Pawel is steaming ahead, and Angus is really going to be putting on his rush boots. So this could turn really interesting. This is the room where he died last, and he's made that dodge, and it's good. Pawel's still struggling in this current room. Not as well prepared here as Angus has been, and he's made it now, so it's all down to Angus now, really. He's the only place he can die is with the flag. He's got to be feeling the nerves now. This has been a really good game so far. A lot of interesting deaths to make this game a seesaw. All down to this last dodge, and he makes it. And a very respectable time, 2:46. And a deserved win, I'd say, actually. You know, Pawel really needed to master that dodge from the lift to the other one. If he had mastered that properly, he would have won that. Whereas I think Angus had 2 kind of more nervy deaths as opposed to lack of practice. But maybe Pawel's were also due to nerves as opposed to lack of practice. I can't really call that, I guess, but looks like Pawel doesn't mind the colour, I'll just go and check to make sure. You can have a look at my wonderful penguin again. Just give me one moment. So on the roster, it is Pawel who is second on the roster, therefore he gets the choice of the second and fourth map, this being the fourth map, so he will get to decide okay, but they're happy with the size that they're on, so no problem. So we're starting the fourth map between Angus and Pawel. For anyone who's joined this stream more recently, Pawel won the first map, being Area 51, quite comfortably over Angus. I don't think Pawel even died on that map, and he made pretty much no mistakes. Early death there from Angus, didn't see that, sorry. Then, what was it, second map? I can't even remember what the second map was. Oh my god. Decay Collapse. Pawel really looked like he was going to win Decay Collapse, but a very, very late death from him at probably the last difficult obstacle with the slope dodge and shoot down. He missed that shot, and Angus was able to win. So Pawel made that mistake at 2-2-all, and that was really crucial. Angus only just hitting the button for the second door, so he's really behind at the moment. And then the third map was Flagrant, which was very, very interesting. 2 late deaths from both the players, but Pawel failing in the water current room on his last run really, really cost him that game. He spent about a minute or more in there, which let Angus comfortably overtake and win that. So it's 4-2 to Angus on points at the moment. All Angus has to do is win this map, or potentially tie it, to win this war, which would mean Pawel would lose again after playing really, really well. I was saying earlier, I think Pawel has played really well in all his wars so far, but he's just been outdone somehow each time and lost a lot of his games. But he is in the lead on this map. Both players at the lead now, which is, I believe Super has timed this to be 28 seconds. So let's see, 17:51 for Pawel. And 17:40 for Angus, so that's 11 seconds real time difference at the moment. Well, real time difference. I don't know if the UT game time is actually real time or not, but I don't know if it's the same as the actual BT count record timer. But anyway, Pawel in the last difficult room on this map. This room can really be nerve-wracking, especially at 2-2. And if you know that you're very close to your opponent, but Pawel makes it, and no problem at the jumps there. So yeah, Angus really not that far behind actually. It looks like he's really caught up, because he had two deaths at the start, about 15 seconds after the spawn, so that was 30 seconds difference already. But he's cut it down to, oh my god! Okay, hi. I don't really have any words for that. Did he grabbed the flag, didn't he? Yeah, he grabbed the flag and then died. So Pawel will know exactly what happened there, and he will not believe his luck. Like, I don't think I've ever seen anyone do that before. Wow, that is that's twice in this war that Angus has died with the flag now. Oh my god, but this time he's died with the flag when Pawel was in the lead, as opposed to when Angus himself was in the lead. You know, oh, that is painful to watch, let alone to be in his shoes right now. Oh my god, I can't believe it. Oh god, that is unbelievable. Pawel he's just finished the lever. So if Super's right in his timing, with this being 28 seconds, we're looking at about 35 seconds difference between these players now, plus a whole map. That is unbelievable. Oh god. I mean, that is just a mermaid thing to do. I mean, oh my god. Well, Pawel is shortly to be approaching the flag. Let's see if he's able to, yeah, take it nice and slow. Yeah, and no problem there, no death there. And I didn't actually see where Angus just died. I'm gonna assume it was in this room because he was holding down the lever in here for a while. So it must have been this room, or maybe even this crusher room here. So that gives Pawel a 2-0 lead on this map. Pawel is a map behind at the moment, so he needs to hold strong and steady to take this into, I believe, his 3rd decider so far. Maybe even his 4th. I'm not sure. I mean, let me just check. Yeah, so he hasn't played his week 3. I'm just going off this for a second, my apologies. I'll take a look here. So, okay. Pawel. Yeah, he loses in 5 maps to LT. And he loses in 5 maps to Raiden. So, could he potentially win this to take it into a decider and again lose in 5 maps? That is going to be my prediction now. That is it. Pawel is going to take this map by storm. He's going to win it 3-0. But he's going to have an absolute shocker on Krypton. The decider obviously used to be BT-KryptonCB. However, we have decided to remove that map from the cup, except for the remaining games left in week 3, due to the red side being unfairly more difficult than the blue side, although still possible. Judged it to be unfairly more difficult than the blue side. Pawel, no problem in that crush room, and that crush room has killed a lot of people in this cup so far. It is a difficult room, but he makes it all no problem. Down to this last room now. He's got such a big lead. He's probably not feeling that much pressure right now. But this 5th map is going to be really interesting, I think. I can't believe Angus. Nice and slow for Pawel, no problem. And that is a 3-0 victory, which takes this game into a decider. That decider being Krypton. I'm still in complete shock at, at Angus's death there. I can't believe he died there. He was about, I think I calculated 11 or 12 seconds behind Pawel. 1-0 to Pawel. Angus grabs the flag and drops straight into the slime. The lava even. So that is... oh, that must be so demoralising for him. And I believe this will be Angus's second 5-mapper of the Cup. I think he took Asterix to 5 maps before he was... no, so he took Raiden to 5 maps and won against Raiden, even. So if he follows that pattern, he'll be allowing Pawel to follow his pattern of losing in his deciding games. So Angus and Pawel literally right next to each other. There's nothing in this at the moment. And Pawel has died. Didn't see that, but I can only assume it was at exactly the same point that Angus was at, which would have been that dodge to the left. So Angus with a massive opportunity now. This isn't a very difficult map, it's more of a rush map than anything. There are little places here and there that you can make stupid mistakes and die, as we have seen. I think, what was the game that I saw recently that was hilarious on this map? Oh, Angus, lucky not to fall there, but he's okay. Pawel meanwhile passed the bit that he died. So, oh, okay, he's fine, he's fine. Angus does have enough health to dip in the slime here. Does he know it? Don't know, but he doesn't need it. And approaching. And oh no, Angus! Oh my god, he's made it. Wow, that was insanely close. I can't remember who it was that we saw die in this room. I know Creeps died in this room, and there was someone else that gave us a load of drama here, apart from Angus. I can't remember who it was now, but that is 1-1 at the moment. 204 to 257, but that must have included waiting time. So really not too much in this at the moment. Pawel with a mid-map death, but Angus having a lot of trouble in the ending rooms there. And Pawel again has died. I didn't catch where that was. I actually forgot where he was when I went off him, so who knows. So Angus again at about the same place that he was when when Pawel took his first death on the first run, so Angus has got to be feeling confident now. But obviously his flag room antics in this war have been astonishing. So, and okay, he narrowly made that jump, that lift jump there. But he looks good. I definitely have to watch him in this flag room again, because this is his record in flag rooms at the moment for this war is just remarkable. So, okay, no problem there. That's how it should be done. With a time of 1:56, that's actually very strong. At least in comparison to Pawel's time. I'm not sure what the record is in the cup so far. But Pawel, also looking good. He's, how far behind is he right now? Maybe, oh, okay, maybe like 40 seconds, I guess. If not more than that. I mean, Angus already pretty much halfway through the map, and he's got past the difficult long dodge where you can bump your head. And I reckon Pawel's died here once or twice, but Angus no problem there. So Pawel with 5 HP, he must have taken a dip in slime earlier, and he makes that dodge, so 5 HP, no problem there. Still 8 seconds slower than Angus. And Angus again at exactly the same place where he was when Pawel died on his other 2 runs. So he's got exactly the same lead, and he knows this, he must know this, so he's just got to hold it strong and he will win this decider. And he will win this war, and Pawel will once again lose in a decider. So here we go. He can afford to take a dip here, doesn't need to. Angus now to take this map and this war to a deciding victory. Will he do it? Will he overcome the pressure and the nerves of his flag room? And yes, he does. That is the end to a very, very good war. Crazy, crazy game. I can't believe that after Angus managed to die 2 times in the flag room of 2 maps, that he's managed to kind of overcome the demotivation of doing that, and has gone on to win in 5 maps. I'm still, I don't think I'm quite over Angus's his death on Mystery Fortress. I've never seen anything like that before. Oh, God, God, God. So, Angus has won this 5 points to 4 in 5 maps. I'm just going to check how that looks on the ranking when I add in the results. Close my ET because that sounds quite annoying. I meant to be streaming a game actually. Oh my god. Hold on. I've got the Asterix LT game. I think now. Okay, right. That game is starting soon. But I'm just telling to decide on a server. So before I end the stream and restart it to the next one, I'm just going to confirm the results for that game and let you know how it stands. I can't even find that game in the roster. Pawel versus Angus. Angus wins. The match result is 5 points to 4. So let's see how that looks on the ranking for Group D in Div 1. So that puts LT and Raiden stay at the top. Angus has now bumped himself up to 3rd place. So he's still in the running there. And Fiat 1 is in 5th place, but we've still got 2 games to play. Asterix in 4th, Pawel last with 3 losses. All in 5 mappers. Really, really unfortunate for him there. He has played really good so far, I think. But anyway, I'm going to stop the stream here. So thank you very much for watching, and just, yeah, just stay tuned for the next game, which will be LT versus Asterix, which is in the same group as the game we just had. So, bye bye.